Welcome back, everybody. David Casino here, along with Prop Bet Pete. We're the gambling guys, and we're happy to have you back. We're here in the Pulltab Sports Network at the Cub Content Studio. Today, we're going to be talking about all things Midwest bars. So if you're joining us for the first time or the fifth time and don't know anything about what happens in a Midwest bar, we're here to talk about it, primarily talking about those pull tabs.
Pull tabs.
Yeah.
Love pull tabs. Love pull tabs.
We got a special guest with us, but before we get into that, I think some of us have been tracking Prop Bet Pete's losing streak.
Cold streak, I think they call it, David. I think they call it a frozen.
Why don't you just give an update on, you've changed a little bit on the cold streak at the casino.
I have.
So
yes.
a little bit there and a little bit on Sleeper or your Prop Bet app of choice.
Yeah, so just a quick update. I actually had some wins last week.
Boom.
Which was solid. I won't leave you hanging. Billy, you guys will meet Billy in a second. So anyway, Prop Bet Pete on Sleeper has gone still cold. Actually, have not warmed up at all. I don't think the match has even been lit. Last week, what did we bet? We bet what games? I forget what games we bet, but you and I bet probably 5 games
that Friday night.
I think it was Thursday night or Friday night. And I went from, I don't know what last cast, we were probably 0 for 23-ish. And based on that, I decided to up my betting amounts because I'm chasing like a son of a bitch right now.
Exactly.
And I am now 0 for 30. Yeah.
But before that,
I'm getting closer, though.
We had a little bit of a run at the casino and you're feeling better. You're out of your tailspin, right?
Yeah, I think the casino we talked about last Friday was great. And then this week when you didn't have some time, I think I went for us. And I dropped a couple hundred. I think I dropped 100 into a double dollar max bet machine. Same machine we played, by the way, last week.
Yep. Got a couple of Instagram shorts out there. Thank you, Spencer, for doing that.
Yeah. Thanks, Spencer. And I kept a 6, 8, 9 of spades, believe it or not, which I would not normally keep, but I'm trying to hit things hard, and ended up getting the straight flush. So
you had a straight flush last time too.
Yeah, 250 there, and then a couple hands later, I kept 3 7s and got a 4, and I actually cashed out and walked away because I was still looking at my sleeper bets, laughing my ass off. So Billy, the Ukrainian from Austria, is our special guest today, and he has a little bit of problem.
Billy's struggling with his headphones.
Headset.
So
technical.
If you're seeing him in the corner,
he's got a little bit of technical.
This could be possibly the fun part of this podcast right here.
I am the guy that has the most vanity because there's one camera on me, but Billy's taking over. So I think we should just jump right in and do the introduction.
We need to introduce Billy,
crazy Ukrainian from Austria.
So we had a little bit of a bet on Billy.
Wait a second. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, okay, good.
I got it.
All right.
So we had a little bit of a bet on Billy on pronouncing his last name because we've been told it is Ukrainian. We were going to call him Billy the Russian, but as you know, with Ukraine and Russia, I don't think we're going to call you anything Russian because that's not a good thing to do right now. But Billy's last name, I don't know if do you mind if we share your last name? Illetschko. Illetschko.
There you go.
A fine Ukrainian name.
Yeah.
So Billy's here with us. They came down from Brainerd, correct? Brainerd area? Breezy Point area. And Billy's a guest on the show. And as you all know, judging from having Sal as our first guest, our second guest, Billy, is going to go through the 5 questions challenge, which you and I have always $100 bet on every question, right?
So it sounded like, Sal, you had us rolling with the exchange of money last time. Is that correct?
Yes.
So I, just for the record, you guys may see it when that gets posted, won $200 from Prop Bet Pete. So the same $100 are in each question. Are we digging right in?
Well, let's start with introducing Billy a little bit.
Good idea.
So Billy, you obviously we have you on because you love pull tabs like we love pull tabs,
yes.
And you've got a pretty good wealth of experience. And I think we're going to spend some time today just talking about how you like to bet pull tabs, how we like to bet pull tabs. What are some fun little tips or tidbits that we can do with pull tabs? What are maybe some tips we can give people, right? So take a second, give us a little, where does Billy hail from? What does Billy like to do? And then we'll go ahead and maybe jump into 5 questions, I'm thinking. Are you ready to answer some questions?
Sure.
All right. So Give us a little bit about yourself, and we're happy to have you. We're pleased to have you. The table's getting a little fuller, David.
I love it.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you, guys.
welcome.
I've been following you a little bit on your podcast, and I'm going to get you some more followers.
Love it.
I am from Inver Grove Heights, Minnesota, originally. We bought a place up in Breezy Point years ago, and we knew we were going to retire up there.
Nice.
So back to the Inver Grove Heights days, I used to bowl a lot, and the center that we bowled at had pull tabs, like 9 or 10 boxes of pull tabs, and that's where I kind of got addicted to them. Cardboard crack, as they're called.
Cardboard crack.
And
Love it.
And my buddy and I used to bring an envelope to the bowling alley.
Yeah.
Thousands of dollars in it, just in case.
Yeah.
You never know.
Just in case you're going to make a run deep into a box,
yeah,
right?
and back then,
Yeah, I don't know if you want to say you had $1,000.
You don't do
in it.
that
You don't want to
anymore,
get
though, for the
rolled.
record.
well,
You don't carry that anymore. You only got 10 with you.
Yeah, now you only got $5 with you.
I want someone to try to roll me. That's
Oh, okay. There you go.
so,
I'd like to see that too.
right, because you ever see his forearms. So, anyways, so we would play the pull tabs, and we got to know the gal pretty well, and we did pretty well in it, and that's where my appetite got going for the pull tabs.
How long ago would you say this was that you started to get into pull tabs? Was it 10? Was it 15 years?
Yeah, probably about 14, 15 years ago.
Okay.
Maybe even earlier than that.
And you were in a bowling league, and can you remember the first time you saw pull tabs? Were you like, what the hell is that? Or did you kind of know about them already? Do you remember that feeling at all, or no?
Yeah, so I was a guy that would get there a little early, and I'd have dinner there. I'd meet, either my wife would come with me, or I would meet someone there for dinner, and I always recognized the guy that was always there, and I called him the pull tab guy.
Okay.
And he would be there at 4:00 when they opened, and he would run into 5:30 when I got there, and kind of would ask him, like, what are you playing? What are you doing? And at first he was hesitant to give me his secrets.
Yeah.
But then as I got to know him pretty well, he
You bought him a
told me
couple
few
beers.
Things. Yeah. He told me a few things.
Yeah.
And I kind of got into it. And then what was really nice about the place we played pull tabs was after we bowled, it was 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. Most people would go home, and it'd be mostly my bowling team. And when I say my bowling team, there's 5 members on the bowling team, but 3 of us were kind of big gamblers, 3 or 4 of us. And we would hang around afterwards with our envelopes. And then back then it was
Envelopes. How
back
great
then
is
it
that?
was they would weigh the boxes for you,
Yep.
and they allowed buyouts. And so we would look at how many winners were left in the box and what our investment would be, and nobody was really brave enough to come into that facility and try to get in our box because they knew we were buying that box, and we would kind of tell them, hey, you get in that box, you're risking your life maybe sometimes.
So we talked about this in the pre-production meeting a little bit. There's kind of an etiquette around pull tabs sometimes, and you had said, and your wife had said that you are up north where people kind of follow an etiquette, right? Like if they see you on a box gambling and they see that you're pretty heavy into a box, they'll maybe lay off that box thinking that, hey, I want to make sure he has his fair chance of winning out of that box because you see something good in that box. Is that true?
Yeah, kind of what goes on now that I went through this cycle is people will say, they'll come in and they'll see me playing the box and they'll say, how deep are you? And I'll say, I'm down $300 trying to get my money back. And most of them will graciously bow out and not buy out of your box. And I do the same. I walk in and I recognize a guy who's a pull tab player.
Yeah.
If he's heavy in a box, I'm not going to wreck his box. I'm going to say, I hope you win and I hope you get even. I hope you win some money. And I'll tell my wife, we're not playing pull tabs tonight.
Okay, so David Casino, you and I play a fair amount of pull tabs in the cities, right? I don't see that same kind of feeling. I don't know if you do, but I think maybe it has to do with the fact that we're playing at places that are really packed and we don't know anybody, whereas you kind of know people where you're playing, right? So, I mean, you and I have chased quite a bit, even over lunches at times in pull tab boxes, but we don't ever seem to see people giving courtesy, right? Occasionally?
I think occasionally, like you said. Yeah, it's actually great to hear Billy talk about it.
Yeah.
But I got to be honest, like I just noticed your shirt there. If I'm behind you and I or in front of you and I see a pull tab on his shirt and he's in, did you notice that?
No.
On the back it says hard to kidnap.
I was just looking at
So it's like if you're in the front or the back, you're staying away.
hard to kidnap. Go ahead and
My
try.
daughter gave me this
Right?
shirt, and I'm like, it's the best shirt I've ever
I
owned.
love it.
That
yeah.
is a fantastic. We
All
might
right.
have to come up with something on merch and put Billy's,
Yeah.
Billy the Tabber.
So
We gotta come up with a
Billy's
better
got
name
a
for you.
ton of info, and we want to get into stories, but I love to gamble, and there's $500 on the line.
Yes.
So, like, to get into a little bit more, you pull up those 5 questions,
Yeah.
which we've already got answers to. So you just have to answer truthfully. Give it about 3 or 4 seconds to
Okay.
it. Now, Billy might be looking over there. There's a couple of wives with us. Sal's wife and Billy's wife are in the corner over there, so they can, I guess, give you tips or whatever. And okay, no, you're just going by yourself. I love it.
So Billy, here's the deal. We came up with this concept when we came up with the podcast. We have 5 questions for you.
Okay.
Answer them as honestly and specifically as you can. And David and I have a small side wager on every single question. So we're going to ask you 5 random questions. Some are about life. Some might be about pull tabs. And then if you see us cheering or booing, you know what to do.
Can I just call a quick audible?
Yeah.
Because truth be told, you two and Sal, say hi to everybody. Because
Hello, everybody.
Without
Thanks
you,
for
we wouldn't
having
be
me.
here.
Without Sal, we wouldn't be here.
Love it. You 3 were at the bar. Actually, you 5 were at the bar.
Yes.
So I just want to ask a truthful question under oath. Have you any pre-knowledge to these questions and the answers in which you should give?
No.
You don't believe me.
I will attest to that.
The
You have
only-
trust
He did
issues.
not, we did not talk about
I'm
that
your
in
friend.
pre-production.
The
Of
only
course I have
thing,
trust issues.
the only thing that Sal told me not to say is the pronunciation of my last name.
We got that one.
Got it.
Okay, so are you ready? Mm-hmm. All right. I think I might lose this first one because this is actually related to what we were doing earlier.
If you just had one, okay.
If you are walking into a bar, which you of course don't do all the time, but you do once in a while, do you prefer wine, beer seltzer as one category, spirit, or other?
The most of the time when I walk into a bar, I'm looking at the taps and I'm going to buy a tap beer.
That would be one for this
What
guy.
did you buy? What did you get just an hour ago?
2 thumbs.
So on the way down, we stopped at a bar and I had a tap beer. And then when we got to a bar here in Stillwater, I had a Tito's Sprite.
So why didn't you go with the spirit?
That's what
as
I
the
thought he was
answer?
going to go for
Exactly. I'm
sure.
down $100.
Because normally I like to see what kind of taps they have. If it's kind of a like
Starting
like
to
a,
like you less.
That'd be plus 100.
Question number 2.
Plus 100. Moving on to question number 2.
Yeah.
When you are playing pull tabs, what is your favorite denomination playing pull tabs? Is it the $1? Is it the $2? Is it the $3? Or is it the $5?
So this might be a split with you guys. I don't know what you've bet, but what I normally do is if I'm by myself, most of the time I'll bet $1. But when I'm with a friend, we're going in the $2, $3, $5.
So we had
First
a game
answer.
first and final.
First and final.
That's why I love you, Pete. So
First and final.
Yeah.
because
What the hell is wrong with you?
Sal,
Billy, come on.
Because I try to win at the dollar level to parlay it into the
yeah,
$2.
I love it.
Yeah, I think David was onto that. So David wins that one at $100. All right, so we're dead even going to the third question. When you recall growing up, from the time you were a wee little baby,
I love how you just said that when you recall growing up. like
not that you're grown up, but when you recall growing up,
Like there's a few dead
Right.
brain cells there.
exactly.
yeah. Reach back in your memory.
There could be Sal.
What age do you remember gambling your first dollar?
Oh. So my wife and I got married pretty early. I was 22, she was 20. And I don't believe back then there was pull tabs that I really played in. But I do remember back to a time when my grandpa used to work for the commercial club in West St. Paul.
Yeah.
And he used to do a booyah every year.
Oh.
And they had pull tabs, which I don't even know if they're the same as the pull tabs that we experience today.
Yeah.
But I know you can win money.
Yeah.
And my mom and dad would send me, or preferably my grandpa would send me out and go, hey, go up and buy some pull tabs. And I'm like 10. And they're like, just go up there. They know who your grandpa is. They'll sell them to you. And I'd go up and I'd give them money, and I'd come back to the group, and we'd pass them out, and we'd look for it was like cherries, lemons, hearts, or whatever. It was goofy shit.
I love it.
And we'd win, and I'm like, I'm addicted now.
Right.
So let's preference
the
how
number?
old.
What?
Yeah.
How old do you
Let's
think you
just
were?
Go back a
is
little
this
bit
the number?
and say.
Yeah.
Don't give him a number.
Okay,
That's
so you
cheating.
were
That's table talk.
10.
Yeah, so I think back in the day, and my wife would agree, I think I was playing pull tabs with my grandpa at probably the age of 10 to 12, I'd probably guess.
Okay,
Sal-
so how old are you now, Billy?
I am 56.
Okay, so
You look great.
46
good,
years
bud.
ago, you were playing pull tabs.
Yes, that's about right.
That is not fair. You
So-
table talked your way through that.
He said
one.
10, and Sal actually brought it up and said, "Are you saying 10?"
Yeah, you're
You can
going like
replay it.
this. I mean, the camera's not on you because you only have one camera.
He
we
was
have
talking
two.
about being married at
You did
22. You
this.
were going to be way out of the ball game, and you
Right.
just got close, like your prop bets, and now you want
Okay, so what were the
That's
bets?
bullshit.
9, and
It was
I took
9, and he
over.
took the over
Boom.
on 9. That's
Back to $100.
That is bullshit.
Yeah.
I am not giving you that because you were holding up
No,
your
I
fingers.
definitely was a 9.
You were
Did you just hear that?
I was older than 9, I think, when
No,
I
you
started
weren't.
playing.
You were like 7.
You're old. How do
Yeah.
you know? You can't remember that.
I
far
don't know.
back.
You were 7.
Jesus, you
You're
were
gonna
in
get
you were in
this next
diapers easily. I'm gonna put this in, but I'm this game is being played on a protest, by the way.
We have a flag.
I'm making
All right.
enemies.
Sal, you just throw the red flag.
All
We'll
right.
review it later.
So when driving a car or have a preferred car, when you're watching TV and you see all these cars on TV and you say, I want a car or the car that I love to drive, do you prefer a sedan, an SUV, or a truck?
Oh, I know
And
this.
if you say minivan, it's an auto loser.
Yep.
It's,
I
So
can tell you what he's going to say.
do you want me
You want to
answer?
double the bet? What I think he's going to say?
Yeah, why don't we do
yeah,
that?
let's do it. Sal, you want to write it down on a piece of paper and then you can show it to the camera?
I could. Yeah.
Yeah,
let's do
write
that.
it down on a piece of paper.
Hang on.
And not 3 pieces of paper with all the options.
This isn't
Right,
fair.
right.
This isn't fair because he knows me.
I've known Billy for 20 years, so.
Well, that's an interesting story too. So,
Okay. What do we got?
You got it.
You ready for me to answer?
Yep.
Go ahead and answer.
I'm driving a pickup truck because I want to run over anybody I come in contact with.
Again, the back of his shirt says,
Well,
hard
you,
to kidnap.
you can't see it, but it says. It says
Sal,
truck.
Sal, your says
Yeah.
truck.
It says truck.
All
I
right.
get SUV is just someone that wants to drive a truck, but they don't have the balls to do it.
Hey, Pete, I guess we're in that category of the guys who just don't have the balls to drive it.
I don't.
I
I,
just
drive a
enjoy-
Toyota for God's sake. I don't think.
enjoy
I
the
don't think Billy
space.
would approve.
I like the space in an SUV. I drive a full size SUV.
Well, yeah, that's good.
nice,
Tell.
nice work.
We are coming to you from lovely downtown Stillwater, Minnesota, and there's very few trucks in downtown Stillwater,
Oh.
Minnesota. I'm
Not this
guessing
past week. Did you hear about this?
No. What
So
happened?
this past week, there were like 1,800 trucks that showed up in Stillwater, and they all met up at Cub Foods parking lot or Cub parking lot, and the police had to disperse it all. But they were from all over the country.
like 18-wheeler type trucks, or
No, like pickup trucks.
it was a pickup truck rally?
Billy, what
It
were
was.
you doing last weekend?
Shit, we could have found.
Last
a way
Yeah,
to
weekend?
bet on that.
where were you?
Last weekend?
Yeah, where were you last weekend?
We're kidding.
So
no, seriously, we
in
don't
front
care.
of a Pulltab booth. That's what he was
Yeah,
doing.
so
Okay.
I just believe the pickup truck for what we do up in. I'm a general contractor,
Okay.
and I build a lot of decks and things like that. So for me, that's the only thing I would drive up there. And,
For
Practical.
sure.
All right.
For
Well,
sure.
the good news is we're even.
yeah,
We're
So
not
this
even
is-
because I'm protesting that bet before where you
You're
were
gonna
literally
win this
advertising to
last
him what
bet.
he should say to say
You will
win.
100% win.
All
this
right,
last bet.
so Billy, question number 5, and this is actually the tiebreaker for the two of us because I'll give you that bullshit bet that you lied about. When you travel, when you guys decide to jump on a plane or a car or whatever you want to do, truck, SUV, not minivan. Do you prefer domestic travel, 50 states, including Hawaii and Alaska, included in that domestic, or international travel? What would be your preference if you travel?
Okay, so I'm 56 years old.
Yeah. I wouldn't
I've never
pitch on that.
I've never been
I would've taken the under.
overseas. So my preference is there's enough cool things to see in America. Why do you have to go overseas? So
Billy, I
most of the
love
time we just, my biggest thing is a great golf course. And there's so many great golf courses in the United States.
There sure is.
Why, the only thing on my bucket list is I want to go to Ireland. But I've never been overseas. So right now I'm knocking off the bucket list of playing courses in the United States.
That was the right answer, Billy. Nice work. That put me up 100.
So a guy from Breezy Point, who I've only heard vacation there. I've never heard of anybody living in Breezy Point.
Right.
Ukrainian from Austria likes domestic travel.
Yes. Well,
All right.
I don't trust going overseas right now.
Good call.
Hey, that ends the 5 questions. Nice work today.
So who won, Pete?
That was me up 100, my friend. That last one put me over the top. And that's with the protest on the over or under on 9 years old.
We'll replay it. It's going to be on YouTube in a couple
Yeah.
of days. You
Yeah.
can
Yeah. I'll be
rewind as many times as you want, Pete.
You're still cheating,
I'll
David.
bet you on the replay.
You're still
Oh,
cheating.
let's do that. Let's do that.
There
We'll
was
have a
never
follow
a
up.
chance that he
We
said
can
under 10.
we can replay it afterwards and record the
I'm just
result.
Sal, you didn't. I don't know. You probably saw it on the screen over there, but he was cheating. There's no question. There was cheating going on there. All right, so let's get back to some more pull-tab talk because that's what we're here for. You told me an interesting thing today when we met early in the pre-production meeting about pull tabs and serial numbers. So when I've been playing pull tabs my entire life, I've always said watch for the serial number. But not all pull tabs have serial numbers, and I've noticed that as well. And I've always thought to myself, why is that true? Why is that not true? You've got some visual evidence as to, or not evidence, but you've got some explanation of
I like it.
Correct.
what. So take us through that a little bit because I'm not our resident pull tab expert. You are on the Pull Tab Sports Network.
So back in the day when I used to play a lot at a bar in Inver Grove Heights,
Yeah.
an older guy told me, he said, the only reason I play these boxes is because they have a serial number. And I'm like, what do you mean a serial number? He goes, when you open them, they have the actual badge that tells you, when you open them, you know it's a winner, even though it doesn't tell you how much. And I said, yeah, I know that. He's like, well, you could tell right away that it's going to have that or if it's not going to have that. And I prefer to play the box that has it because out of 3 windows, I only have to open 2 of them. And I said, really? And I go, how do you know that? And he said, well, he's like, if you open a box that doesn't have a letter in the number at the bottom, that's not going to have the serial number. So that's just going to say $100 or a $200 winner, and it's not going to have that license plate. But if you have one that has the second number, a U or a different letter, that means it's going to have that license plate serial number. And he said, I don't waste my time with any box except serial numbers because I go through them so fast, I only have to pull 2 windows, and I'll know if I get a winner. So that started me kind of watching what pull tabs I played.
So for those of you that are listening maybe on Spotify and can't see the visual here, Billy was showing a couple of blown up pull tabs. So on the back, on the bottom where the winner, it says 2, 5, 10, 100, the numbers are there. And you were saying if it has a letter in it, is what you want to look for.
So
Yes.
every pull tab box has a distinct serial number for those pull tabs, not the serial number that you show when you win, but the pull tab. It's state licensed, right?
And they'll have that. If you look at the boxes when you go up the pull tab window, the boxes will have at the bottom of each box will have a number, and if the number is just 7 or 10 numbers, no letters, that means it's not going to have that serial number. If the box has a letter in it, that means it's going to have a serial number.
Never knew.
Yeah.
No, nor did I. We learn something new every day, right, David Casino?
And when he told me that, he looked at me. He goes, "That's what 40 years of being a pull tab expert."
So you're in 46 years. 10,
Right. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Wow, interesting. Do you play electronic pull tabs?
Yes, we do. A
Okay.
lot.
Do you prefer those over paper tabs, or is there any preference or not?
I do not prefer the electronics over the cardboard crack, but where we come from or where we live now in Breezy Point, Minnesota,
Yes.
the majority of people play it and they play it hard. Like they're playing $5, $3, winning $14.99, winning $8.88. they're playing it very, very hard, and it lists. You can go to the flare and you can kind of see what year that Pulltab or date that Pulltab came into the electronic Pulltabs went into thing, and you can kind of play it. And we tend to play like the older Pulltabs, like these were open in 2021, and they gotta close out at some point. So we put our money in them. My wife likes to play the electronic Pulltabs. I like to play the regular traditional Pulltabs.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Match made in heaven?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So when you play electronic pull tabs, it has a casino type slot machine feel to it, right?
Yeah, the bonuses are what get people to play it.
Okay, so you can pull the tab virtually on the machine, the iPad or whatever it is they give you.
Right.
And then there's also bonus rounds associated with those, or how does that work?
Yeah, there's a bonus that you can get into on multiple machines, and a lot of games will have one or two bonuses. Like one bonus will bring you one way and another bonus will bring you another way. And people up there know, like, if you get in this bonus, it's better than that bonus. And there's a lot of talk going around. But that's what people strive for. And that's what we've heard that the legislator wants to stop.
The legislature does, yeah.
Yeah, they want to stop, like, the bonuses. They want to make everyone have to be aligned. So it's tedious to see what you win. But what makes the electronic pull tabs tick up north, everyone plays it, is they're like, oh my God, go play this game. It's got a really cool bonus.
So, Billy, that's an interesting question. Is let's talk about the whole legislature thing, because there is a thing brought up in regards to not making them as a slot machine type, but more of a pull type.
Correct. And what I've heard, and I'm kind of connected with some of the people in the legislature, but what I've heard is there's opposition about making it more like a slot machine because it's infringing on, what our laws
The casinos.
are.
Yeah,
right.
correct. And it's kind of pushing the laws of gaming.
Right.
Yeah.
But I've also talked to a lot of people, and they're like, if they take these bonuses and stuff out here, we're never going to play it.
Yeah.
So right now it's making a lot of money for the state. I mean, I have a friend that was in the legislature that got these things implemented to pay for the Viking Stadium.
Right.
And it did what it was meant to do. At first we thought this was a joke. It was never going to do that. But then it really picked up a lot of speed, and it did pay for the stadium. And now they want to take that part away. And everybody I talk to says, if they make it more like you got to swipe 3 lines, like a real cardboard crack pull tab, they're not going to play it. And I'm like, that's making money for the state.
Charities as well, right? I don't know.
Yeah, hockey. And I always look at the charity that's even playing by the electronic or whether
supporting.
Supporting.
Absolutely.
It's probably a good call out is for those of you that maybe not know anything about pull tabs and you're listening and you're still hanging on. Thank you. It's a Midwest thing. I mean, if you're listening from, I've run into a lot of different people from.
Actually, David, we looked this up today that pull tabs are legal in, what was it, Billy? 26 states?
Are they really?
I wrote it down. 20 states out of 50.
That's crazy. Why don't we take a quick break here? I was going to ask Billy on this one too. I didn't see how much hair you have. You see that, we don't have much.
Billy has a hat on.
And what other way to say good call. But here's the thing, you probably get bloody knuckles, right? Or you're working with those hands.
Yeah.
Duke Cannon, one of our sponsors, has got this really thick lotion called Bloody Knuckles. And it's perfect to apply in the wintertime up here. So let's do a shout out. I also realized that St. Patrick's Day is coming around. It's luck. We're talking about gambling. Are you considered a lucky guy or a superstitious guy?
Actually, my mother and my grandpa were very lucky. So whenever I'm playing, there's a lot of times when I have to say, "Come on, grab a plant. You got this."
I love it. So the other thing is that
maybe a little Irish in them.
Duke Cannon just came out with the Shamrock Thick scent.
Like the Shamrock Shake.
Well, maybe.
But a little different.
So Puck and the big-ass brick of soap and the body wash.
So now
Big
we've got... Okay, so with Duke Cannon, let's do a little inventory here. You've got the big ass brick of soap.
I have multiple
big ass bricks
scents.
of soap. I've used their shampoo puck, and I continue to use it on a daily basis.
That's great. I love the shampoo puck. It's so lathering.
Oh,
But seriously,
it's fantastic.
like Billy, of all of us, because you actually work with your hands,
Yeah.
and you got to try this Bloody Knuckles deal.
I will do that for sure.
It's a really thick lotion.
yeah, we'll give
They
him
have
some
that.
on the way out the door. I'm sure
Some
Duke
pomade.
Cannon would
I
love
love
us.
it. There's some right there.
Awesome.
I tried some of this Mane Tamer today, the Flow, and Billy even smelled it. It's very manly and masculine, which is Duke Cannon. It's totally Duke Cannon.
So was it masculine when he smelt your
That's-
hair,
that's
or was it
wondering where you-
masculine when he smelt your hand?
no, I smelt it out of the jar.
Okay, just so everyone knows,
Come
I
on.
opened the jar like
Thanks,
this and then put it to Billy's nose and
Yeah.
my nose, and now David's going to smell it as well.
Yeah.
So very good stuff. The one thing that we love about Duke Cannon, and we always say this, is their support of military and military families. They continue to support with every dollar of revenue that comes in. They support active, retired, discharged military and their families. So, David, we thank them obviously for their sponsorship, and we especially thank them for their support of the military.
Can I throw a shout out to Andrew Burgum, who's
Yes.
awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Andrew, if you're out there,
Billy,
show now.
thanks for being here. This is fun.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you've got a lot of good information already, and so what you think about pull tabs? What's your favorite story? If you had to tell one story that's related to pull tabs, it could be a big loss, a big win, a big comeback. What do you think? What's one of the faves?
Yeah, let's get a
Well-
good story. We got a feeling you can
It
tell
can
good
be
stories.
emotional. It can be
Yeah.
funny.
Well, I got a little emotional talking about Andrew Burgum, but
Nothing wrong with that.
I got one story that I was playing pull tabs with a gal. I don't know if I should mention her name, but she came up to Breezy Point for the weekend, and
We're gonna call her Pressure Sose.
Like as in Kaiser Sose?
Yeah.
She may or may not be in the studio
Was that-
and may or may not be related to one of these folks, but let's move on.
Was
Right.
that wait? Does that Precious Sose? What?
Pressure Sose.
Okay.
So, anyways, she pulled into town, and she has a love for pull tabs like I do, and we started playing pull tabs at the local establishment. And man, everything we touched turned to gold. We were winning this, we were winning that, we were winning this.
What'd you throw in right away? The two of you.
I think
and you
we-
pooled your money, right?
I think we each threw like
Yeah, they
20
pulled their
bucks.
money.
I think we each threw in like $20. We pulled it in, and,
Okay.
and we went into like a dollar jar for $40, and we're like, oh, $200. We're like, awesome. So then I like, hey, let's go for that $2 box. Now we get playing on their money.
yeah.
So we went on a $2 box, and I think we hit a 500 right away, and now we're up. And so we're like, hey, let's listen to the band and do some dancing and do some other things and try to leave a winner. And then our addiction just took over, and we're like,
Like it always
we're
does.
like, hey, the pull tab jar over there on number 1 box is really good. So let's hit number 1 box. So we put money in one box. At the end of the day, I think the first day we played pull tabs, we were like up $1,800. And we're like, that's awesome. We did so good.
That's fantastic.
This is on a Saturday.
Yeah.
So this is a Saturday. Sal, you just happened to be there,
Yeah.
I
right?
happen
Yeah.
to be there.
Okay. Okay.
And then Sunday came around, and we're like, well, let's continue the roll. I mean, look, why wouldn't we? I mean,
We're rolling.
these pull tabs are looking great.
Right. Right.
So
well, why wouldn't you?
We lost a little bit here, we lost a little bit there, we lost a little bit more, and then we're like, holy shit, we're out of money. So I happen to know a guy. I was out of money, and I happen to know a guy who owned a pretty rich guy up there, and I go, hey, can you borrow me $100?
Why
he's
did
like-
he borrow you $100?
Well,
Because you guys
'Cause
had
so you-
tapped out of your cash allowance.
yeah,
on
we
the
had already
machine.
lost the 1,800 we won.
Did you
and-
bring the 1,800 the next day to the
Yeah, we pretty
Okay.
much
They
lost.
brought it to zero. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
we-
you wrote it down. You wrote it up and then you wrote it down.
Yep. So
Okay.
we're like, well, we lost 1,800, but we won 1,800. We're even. Let's keep this going.
Yeah.
So then I borrowed 100 from a guy that was like, I might not ever see you again. I'm like, no, we bought a bolt from you. You're good. So and then we
all
won.
right.
We won a little bit. And we won a little bit, and we got up a little bit. And then at the end of the day, we're like, walking on $100 down, and we're like, let's just think back to how much we've tipped over the last day and a half.
Right.
And that person made way more money than we did.
Did you guys come up with a number? What you tipped him or her?
I think we tipped like over $700.
$700. Can we get into that? So make
That's
sure you
a really
finish your
good-
story, but I want to talk about tipping too.
And
I
we're
love
like-
your
Yeah, and I
perspective.
also want to talk about chasing because they were
Yeah.
chasing, and we had
no,
this. We
it
had
doesn't
this.
sound
co-
like it.
Sal, you say that with a little emotion in
oh,
your
yeah.
voice.
We had this conversation last time where we were talking about. Okay, so are you
Towards the end, we
The
were-
strategy is it? Are you chasing or is it strategic?
Sounds pretty close to home, Sal. Sounds like you're a little emotional about it.
I'd like to
little
call
bit,
it committed.
a little bit.
Well, when you're that lucky for the first day, you feel like that luck's going to come back.
Yeah.
I mean, like we're
You think you can roll with it.
unstoppable together.
Right.
We're just going to roll it. We're just going to keep going.
How fun was that? Let's keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I've done it a lot of times where like you walk out and you're like, I won $100 or I lost $100, but the pull tab lady made $200.
So let's talk about that. So let's say you put in, okay, just talk about the tip. Like I tend to always tip even if I've lost, but probably half of what I would tip losing. If
Right.
I was up, I would tip like a full 10, maybe percent.
So, David, when you tip when you're losing, what do you tip?
Yeah.
That's
so like,
interesting.
so like, let's say Pete and I hypothetically
Sure.
Hypothetically.
are each in $200 and we hit 100. She'll probably get 5 or 10.
Okay.
I've only
All
seen
right.
one male pull tab person.
My
so I'm
rule
not
of
being
thumb is
sexist. I'm just-
10%.
Right.
Anything with a
You
serial
always do 10?
anything with a serial number for me, or
Yeah.
license, I guess you could call it, because they don't all have
Yeah.
serial numbers. Anything with a license to me is 10%.
Even a $50 winner?
You don't need a license for 50.
You don't need a lot. Yeah.
No, 100 or more.
100 or more.
You're always doing it up or down. Tipping.
Up or down 10%.
Billy, where
I
are you
feel like
at?
it's good karma.
So my strategy is if we were to put money in and hit right away, it's totally 10%. So $200, I tip 20. $100, I tip 10.
Yeah.
But if you're in it, most of the places I know me, so they're like, I've been to the point where I've thrown out money and they're like, don't tip me now, get it back, tip me later when you win. If you don't win, I understand. But a lot of times, it's 10%, like you said.
Yep.
If I'm down, sometimes they'll be just like, here's $5 for your trouble to fill it out. I'm down $400, and they don't even want to take it. They're like, I know you're gonna win. You're gonna win a bunch down the line a week from now, and you'll take care of it then. And a lot of times we're playing when we're eating, like we're having a dinner,
Yeah.
and we're playing. So then it's like, okay, we're gonna tip on our meal, and then we're gonna throw in a big tip for the pull tabs because they all pool their money for the pull tabs
Okay.
and the dinner where we.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Oh,
So like when
okay.
we play at the
makes
bar
sense.
that we local, if I hit a $200 ticket and I'm gonna bet or tip 200, and then I have a $100 meal and I'm gonna tip $20, at the end I just tip 40, and then they figured.
I like it. That's good for the listeners. Sal, you were jumping in there and were asking me when I was down. What do you do?
Well, it depends. It really depends. I mean, so I've got a different strategy of pull tabs. We've discussed this before off camera, and Billy knows this. That I have. I will play, but I don't necessarily play. I'll. Sometimes I donate my money. Sometimes I contribute, and I don't need to play. So Billy knows this, is that if and you guys know this as well, is that I grab the top and the bottom card if I'm getting pull tabs, and I dump the rest. I'll take those two cards because I don't necessarily need to play,
Yeah.
but I
that's
will
weird.
contribute and I'll take my winnings.
That's
And my wife
Bookends.
knows this because I'll give her money, and she'll be like, "Okay, I'm going to play pull tabs."
yeah.
I'm like, "All right." And then if she wins, let's just fictitiously $250, I know I'm getting half without even pulling the tab.
So you literally don't. You like watching pull tabs, but you're kind of a voyeur, where you like to watch people
exactly,
pull.
exactly.
pull
I'm a kind
tabs.
of a voyeur, and Billy has seen me to the point where
he doesn't touch the pull tabs. He'll get a piece of cardboard to put on the top of the stack and a piece of cardboard to put on the bottom of the stack. to me that tells me he thinks he's a loser.
No, I don't.
Because
I just
really, he doesn't want to.
Billy, you may not be invited back. Sal's the producer.
I know. But
So my thing is, I just don't want the stress of winning or losing.
But we tell him, but we're like, you got to go pull him because you're lucky, and he's like, I don't want to touch him.
But let's talk about that to our listeners, because we just talked about, like, I do it for a dopamine hit or a thrill.
Right.
But Sal, you just said it's stressful for you.
Yeah.
Like, that's just
A little bit. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I will say it's stressful for me at points,
Okay.
especially if you're like down and you're relying on me
Like go for 30 on
to
sleeper.
go and pull your winner, and I'm like, oh fuck, that's a lot of pressure to me.
Yeah.
Where my wife would be like, no, I'll go get him.
I've been waiting to ask you this question, too. So there's 3 Diamond Corporation supplies a lot of the pull tabs here locally. I don't know if they do up there. What's your couple of your favorite games?
Oh, good question.
So
Let's stick with just the cardboard crack version, not the electronic.
right. So when I play pull tabs, I don't have a favorite game that I like to play, which I know a lot of people up there do. Like a lot of people are like, oh my God, they're Shoot the Moons,
Yeah,
and we're playing Shoot the Moon. Oh.
Hey, that
Bananas.
That was me, and now you made me.
Oh, sorry.
Bananas, yeah.
And
okay.
Cherries.
I don't do this.
Plenty of favorites around the studio.
So,
yeah.
but I don't do that.
So you're looking for the wins?
I look at what's posted that's in the box, and with an educated eye, I can tell how many tickets are in the box.
Experience. The educated means experience.
Experienced eye. I know how many tickets are in the box. I mean, I can have them weigh the box, and I'm within 50 to 100 tickets.
All right, that's a challenge. We're going to get a promotional box, and we're going to check it. Which
We
eye
can
do you
do
use
this.
when you eye it up?
We can do this.
I know level, and I know box. Like, I'm a general
Sounds like another
contractor. I
wager.
know dimensions. I know
Yeah.
if it's 15 by 15 and it's this thick, how many square inches are in there.
So here's a question. You sometimes walk up to a box and it's the traditional 3-line pull like is on your T-shirt.
Yeah.
Then you get these little tabs, these $5.
Stay away from them.
Because the numbers are worse, right?
Yes.
Like,
Yeah,
Oh,
that's a Western Minnesota, North Dakota thing.
Stay away from
yeah,
them.
yeah. So
I took Billy to North Dakota one time, and I'm like, let's get some pull tabs, and we started playing. He goes, what the hell is this?
Tabs.
what the F is this? Yeah,
Yeah.
So,
for sure.
Yeah, I stay away from them. But what I do is when I walk in, my wife will tell you, first thing I do, I go to a bar. She'll go, what do you want to drink? I'm like, I'm going to cruise by the pull tabs first. And I'll walk by and I'll look and I'll say, 1,800 left in that box. 2,000 left in that box. Whatever. And then I'm looking at the distance and I'm like, man, I think we could play that box the rest of the night and never lose.
Yeah.
Because there's more in winners than I think there are in tickets. Unless somebody walks in and pulls the,
Just going to say, as long as you got the respect thing up there.
Right.
God, I could talk about this forever. So, do you like playing boxes with playbacks? Do you care? Is it?
Oh, yeah, just the lines.
Just the lines?
Yeah, that's not me. I hate the not playback thing.
So the boxes that I like at the bar we play at the most often is they have $2 boxes and they have the $26 winners, the $8 winners, the $12 winners, the $4 winners, because you can throw. Usually, when I'm going to throw $40 in a box to start out, I want a partner. I want like one of my wife's friends or something to play with me, and we'll throw in $40, and then, I mean, if you hit a 26. We put that back in,
Right.
And then you could hit a
Replay.
200 or
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, on a lot of those, I think we talked about odds before really briefly. 84% payouts. Is that similar to what you see in those pull tabs posted?
Yeah, so I like to play the 85% payoffs that are posted, mostly on the $2 tabs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which are the 26, the 18s.
Yeah.
Those multi-liners, though, they can give you that hit and then go,
Oh my God, the multi-liners where you pull the first line and you're like, oh, there's 3 lines going, and then you pull the rest at the end of it, and it's $12.
Right.
So do you guys let them grow?
No, I think that's. Oh God, you're kind of touching a sore spot. with me.
I guess I
So-
did. The corner over there got
Up in your
emotional
chair,
over
folks.
there.
Here
so
we go.
when I'm playing a box,
Mary, you can go over and jump on if you want.
I'm playing to frickin' win fast, And a lot of times,
Yeah.
the best time to play pull tabs when it is high tension, and you know that the winner's in there and other people are playing it.
Yeah.
And they've been playing it the same amount of time you're playing it. So there's not the respect factor. It's like you against them.
Go time.
So, yeah. And so I can open pull tabs to keep. I'm a very tidy poker player or pull tab player. I can rip them open and keep all the losers in a hand and set them on the bar in a stack, and they don't even know I played them. They think they're still fresh tickets. My pet peeve is people that play them and just stack them up or line them up or whatever. No, you if you're a good pull tab player, you should pull them and keep them in your hand and bend them and set them down like you never even touched them, so the bartender can come and take them away. But I'm so fast.
So Billy, I
Some
love it.
passion.
I'm just gonna ask you and
Passion
Sal a
here.
question on this one, okay?
Okay, go ahead.
So there are two pull tab players, hypothetically. The neat pull tab puller and the not so neat. Which one do you think Prop Bet Pete is?
Ooh.
And I am obviously the other one.
I
Okay.
think you're the neat, and he's just throw them wherever they are.
No, I think Pete. So, well, there's a difference, right? So I think Pete is the pull and throw in the basket, or if you're at the pickle up in Breezy, in Brainerd,
Love the
this
Boy, throw
one,
on the floor.
this one, you just
Love
throw them on the floor.
I've seen
I
Pete-
think that you're like you're the pull and tuck, like Billy.
me or
I,
Pete.
I think you keep
David.
all your
David
is the
pull
in
and
the
tuck.
hand.
I'm just like Billy. You're right
Yeah.
on this
Yeah.
one. Pete, I find it in his like French fries and your
In my Chill Boys underwear.
like your
people like you.
Chill Boys underwear, and it's
Right.
Yeah, people
Like-
like you kind of annoy me when you get.
I hear that a lot. Shit everywhere.
I'm like, oh my god,
I'm gonna
Mary.
move over
like,
here with those forearms. No.
I'm like, act like you've been there. I'm like, open them up and put them in your hand and set them down in the bar. And oh my god, but we pull them so fast. I mean, there's times where we're just.
But Billy, you
rifling.
are a different level of pulling pull tabs because you will pull and you're like a pull and tuck, but you are so fast. And I tried because we're competitors,
Right.
and I try to compete with him, and I'm like, I can't do it that fast.
That's
No.
the same thing I do with poker and you at this casino, and I shouldn't be doing that because I make mistakes.
You know
Yeah,
what we should do?
exactly.
What
Yeah.
we should do sometime is get one of those promotional boxes and come in here and we can have a race.
Yeah.
We can stopwatch you and I partners, or we can
Right.
take one and
I'm a snail's pace.
And I'm like,
You
I'm
know,
like,
if we were
oh my
thinking
god,
about this,
I'm
we
like,
could have done that tonight.
I'm like,
We'll
oh my,
do it, though.
I'm like, oh my god, we got to get
I don't-
these pulled and get up there, back up there. I'm like, Mary, hurry up, pull these damn things, pull them, and we're pulling, and that's the stress part. And then I'm running back, and a lot of times I'm at the window, and I'm like, yell at me if you got a winner. She's across the bar, and I'm ready to buy back in, and I mean, I'm ready to buy the jar out. And I'm like, you got a
We
winner.
got to get up there and see this.
I
We
love it.
have to. So, one of the questions
The
I want.
pickle's the best experience up there, though. When you
I
can
love
just
the
throw 'em
pickle.
right on the floor.
There's another spot that you guys need to come up and do a little.
Okay, there's. I think it was called JJ's or something, right? Is that right? Yeah.
JJ's got a nice window. So the
Okay.
owner, the guy that owns the Commander JJ's, that's where we kind of we frequent.
Okay.
And they have pull tabs upstairs, pull tabs in the basement. They have electronic pull tabs upstairs, electronic. And we love it because if you're not winning upstairs, go downstairs. If you're not winning downstairs, go upstairs.
It's the only place to go on Chrome.
All right.
Yeah.
Is same
Only place to
charity?
go.
Yeah, they do different charities, I think. I don't even know.
I'm in.
Oh yeah, a lot
Let's
of
do it.
A lot of the stuff they do is a payback to our lake that we live on
That's
in
great.
Breezy Point, which is Pelican,
It's perfect.
and they support the putting out of the buoys and where you should. So it's
Right.
awesome.
Right. So,
So let me ask you guys this, all of you. So, does the sponsorship that the pull tabs promote affect your play?
yes.
I think
Yes.
so too.
Yes.
Me too.
Yes,
Yes.
100%.
I'm never going to go to Oakdale and support
Don't
a
say-
private school,
You're not going to support.
Okay.
Yes, I will.
you know what I
'cause
mean?
My kids went
especially
to that
when
private
my
school.
kids go to
Can't
public
say
school.
that
Yeah.
on podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do that,
Yeah. I totally get it.
regardless of how good the jar is. I mean, it's just I just don't want to do it.
It's nice to know that my degenerative habits are supporting something, right? And I charities, just like we mentioned with Duke Cannon, it's important that some money goes back to either whether it's environmental causes, whether it's the DNR, whatever it is, that money is spent in a good way. We should probably take a break real quick and just talk a little bit about Chill Boys.
You
right?
mentioned having pull tabs in your underwear.
I did.
Love
did.
Chill Boys.
I think it's a Take it away, Prop Bet Pete.
Yeah, so Billy, I think as a guest of the show, you may in fact be getting a gift of Chill Boys, but their underwear feels pretty good. I can tell you that. I mean, it's like not wearing underwear.
Bamboo, right, Pete?
It's bamboo, correct. I am wearing the boxer briefs, and they were kind enough to send me a pair or two. And I'm not sure I'm going to switch out from anything else anymore. I think I'm done with the what was the
So let me ask you this: they're great in the wintertime.
yes,
How great do you think they're going to feel in the summertime?
just like air conditioning. I would
Seriously,
imagine, right? Air
Can-
conditioning in the pants.
Can I talk about underwear?
If it's Chill Boys, you can.
Yeah.
I think I might be new. Okay, so for the last 10 years, all I've worn for underwear is Duluth Trading.
Yep.
Oh
And it's
no,
it's their-
dude, this
it's their
is
bare
totally
It's
different.
the bare naked
Same
underwear.
stuff I wear.
I'm a golfer. I got to have something that won't chafe. I got to have something that's like that, and that's all I own. And
Billy,
that's-
I think we're going to convert you.
Yeah.
Yes,
Chill
we
Boys
are.
has got-
We are going to
Got
convert you
some Gulf
today.
ones
what
actually
I'm
part
hoping.
of their description on
'Cause
their
you wear
free
the
versions.
same-
We're going to grab you a pair here.
I will do it.
Yep, and then we can have your wife weigh
Compare.
in on, help
Yep.
you out on the look and feet. Well, okay.
And
Well,
Chill
We're
Boys.
I'm actually going to have you change your
'Cause I'm
underwear
right now,
before we leave.
Well, Sal,
In front of the studio.
if we turn the
Front of
camera
cameras.
on
That
right
looked
now,
like you were kind of
actually see
hoping
them
for that to
grabbing
happen,
them.
David.
Salazar, you've seen me in my you've seen me in my underwear hitting golf shots before.
Yes. So
Thanks for
as-
the call out. Great
Yes.
sponsor. Thank you, Chill Boys. Take a look, chillboys.com. Fantastic. as
There is
sponsor.
a promo code, correct?
There
Sal,
is a
do we know
promo
what-
code.
What is that promo code? I forget. I had it written down. And of
Chill
course,
Boys 15, I believe.
I timed
is.
out.
Yep.
So you go to the Chill Boys site, and at checkout, you put in our promo code Chill Boys 15. And there is other apparel that they have. David, you've worn some of their sweatshirt stuff.
Yeah, that hoodie is fantastic.
The hoodie's
you gave me a hard
fantastic.
time about the color, but then again, you gave me a hard time about my white pants,
I
none
love
of which
Wow.
I'm wearing.
The white pants are on a different
white
level.
pants.
They
so we'll
are
talk about
hung
that
up
another
for
time.
good. Thanks to
No,
the feedback.
they're on our Instagram post, so that's good. Chill Boys, we thank you for your sponsorship, and folks, feel free to go out to their website and, as we said, use that promo code ChillBoys15.
And I'm gonna report back because I'm an underwear guy.
Well, thank God you're an underwear guy. So I have a question about pull tabs or gambling in general. When you gamble, David and I talk about this a lot. It's all about attitude. And as superstitious folks, because most gamblers are, David's always like, "Hey, Pete, come on, man, let's pick this up. Your attitude's got to be right." Do you feel that same way when you're walking in to play pull tabs?
Yeah, in fact, when I started playing pull tabs, I when I buy them in the jar, at first I just start ripping them, and then I'm like, oh my god, I'm not winning. I'm not winning right now. I need to win.
Yeah.
And then I'll start saying, okay, my dead grandpa Plant, give me some luck. My mom, she was a great gambler, give me some luck. And a lot of times, the next pull tab I open is a winner. It's really weird.
Love it. Love it.
So you're a superstitious kind of player.
Yeah, when I
Is that what you- did you
when I
say?
need it, I call above. When I need it.
That's
we love that you're
fantastic.
here. We could tell you're deeply connected to those that matter to you, and
Yep.
thank you for being here. Before we wrap it up, though, you had some things. I know you shared a lot. Anything you any other story, or make sure you tell the group, our listeners and watchers here, Billy?
Yeah, the one thing I want to talk about is like the pull tab machines.
Okay.
Oh, good call out there.
So pull tab machine is there. It's everywhere now, right? Because they don't have to hire somebody. Blah blah blah.
Right.
And I kind of like them because I know how they load boxes with a normal pull. When the pull tabs come in a box, they come in 4 slots.
Okay.
Okay, they're told when you load a box, take the one slot out, put it on the base. Take the next slot out, put it on the second base. Third one, fourth one. They don't want the people to dig because they don't want more winners to go out than there's money in there, right? But when they do a machine, they do 1 slot, 2 slots, 3 slots, 4 slots. So in my opinion, that's breaking a box into 4 quarters, right? You look at all the winners. If there's 16 winners, 4, 4, 4, 4, right? So you look at the big winners, you're like, well, there's got to be a winner. So when we play with groups and boxes, like, I'm going to come back to you and I'm going to go, Pete, you're number 1. Dave, you're number 2. You're number 3. Or we'll, depending on who you go. You hit a winner, you hit a 200 out of one.
Yeah.
We're not playing that row
Switch
anymore. We're going to the next row. And we're going to beat that box up by rows because we're playing 4 quarters. And there's times where a friend of mine and we sat down in a $2 box, and the top winner was $300. And we played we bought every ticket in the damn box. We ended up breaking even on that one, but we knew we were going to break even because we did the math.
Yeah, love it.
So that's
But-
an interesting question. So let me ask you this, and just kind of going off of it, but do any of you three play I'm
No,
gonna say unlisted
Unmarked?
boxes?
Unmarked.
no, hell
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Unless-
if they don't list the winners.
Well, unless I know the gal
Bingo.
pulling them.
Bingo.
If she gives me the old,
Might want to play that
I
box.
put I put 100 down there and said, which box do you think we should go in?
yeah,
And I
Right.
just get some tickets out of
That's-
6 that was unmarked.
Yeah, I
that's
agree
right.
with you.
And
Local
then the
knowledge.
10% changes.
Course
right?
knowledge, right?
You're
Yeah.
darn right on
Course
that.
knowledge.
But that's typically like a first time experience. You'd walk into a bar, I'm like, oh, this bar doesn't post the winners. I'm probably not going to pay. If it's a frequent bar that I go to and they're not posting winners, it's not going to be my bar, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, good point.
Right.
Good
right.
point.
Right. So,
So I think there's pull tab machines that'll let you play one slot, and there's pull tab machines that go pop, 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 and you get what you get. If you can find a pull tab machine that'll let you play, you can hit max, put your $40 in or $20 in, hit max, and they're chuk, 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 out of one line. You can dictate that box. You're splitting a box into 4 quarters.
that's assuming that the winners are evenly divided among the columns.
And
right?
that's what I find. But
Okay.
there are times when there's jams and they got to come and they move shit around.
Sure.
But literally, all the stuff I've done is that's how I make money.
So, do you still tip the bartender when you collect your money?
Of course, because they're mostly people we know.
Right.
Bartenders or pull tab stations.
Yeah. So that in that case, it's good karma. In many cases, when you're tipping the pull tab operator, it's
Right.
for local knowledge.
Well, a lot
right?
of times if I'm playing a machine, the first thing I'll do, if I know I'm going to go in big, I'll go to her and I'll say, count up the tabs you got. The equal. So she'll go up and she'll look and she'll like, yeah, I got 4 200s, 2 150s, 3 100s. I make sure that they're still got the payouts for them. Now, that's not to say that some drunk threw one on the floor and never collected.
Right.
But if I know they still
Yeah.
have my odds are better that I'm going to hit it. So.
Sure.
And
sure.
and the other thing to know, and nobody knows this, is there's 4 pull tabs that are taped on the glass that show you what you're playing.
Yeah.
Those could be winners.
Oh.
So if you buy out a box and you think there's a 200 winner in there, and you don't get it, you can actually call the person to take them off the glass. I've done it twice, and that winner's been on the glass.
Crazy.
That's another good.
That's
tip.
a really good
And
tip
people
for-
don't know that.
Yeah.
We'll
Keep-
walk
let's keep
out.
that- Okay,
Yes.
everyone forget that they heard that. Just
Yeah.
David and I and Billy
Right.
know that now. So, yeah, we should probably wrap things up, but not before we talk about Jimmy's Dips and Sauces, right? Because they're a fine sponsor of ours as well. Have you tried any Jimmy's this week, David Casino?
I told you about it. I mean, we have.
Yeah.
I need to grab the salad dressing because I like the dips a lot, right? You dipping it in crackers and vegetables.
Yeah.
But I'm going to try some of the salad dressing. We got one of them sitting right there.
Yeah, so before you go, as a parting gift, Billy, you get some Jimmy's coleslaw salad dressing, and probably, which is more important, the Jimmy's caramel dip up there.
Oh, awesome.
Right. And the caramel dips on ice cream. And what did you have the other day, David?
I just use my
He
finger.
just used,
Oh, yeah, your finger.
I use
Hey! Don't be judging. You six
So-
are going to be doing it in about 5 minutes off
He
camera.
started it with his finger, ended with his tongue.
Oh
He
yeah,
cleaned it
you have
clean.
to get it all
right.
out of there.
So if you talk
We're
about,
still talking about the
I
caramel
might
right
let
now.
Salazar give it to me on his finger. or
so let's
something.
talk about sophistication,
No,
right?
no.
So degrees of sophistication. Sal has it with maybe something. Would you have
Ice
it with?
cream.
Sal ice
Ice
cream.
cream.
Microwaves and
Ice
puts
cream
it
is
on.
That's
the best.
relatively sophisticated. I have it with some ginger wafers that we get at Trader Joe's, the caramel dip, and you use your finger.
Yep. And I'm going to be willing to bet in 5 minutes where you're all at on this because there's no ice cream in here and I don't see any vegetables. So I'm willing to bet you're all going in.
Vegetables
Billy,
and caramel?
So
Sal. Oh, sorry.
look for Jimmy's at your local Cub, right?
So
Jimmy's.
we had the dressing just the other day at home,
Oh.
and it was phenomenal.
Oh, it's so good.
On
Okay.
a salad.
Good.
Mixed green salad. It was great. It was
The coleslaw, or was it a ranch, or what?
no. It was a. I don't know what I'd have to ask my
Smoky
wife what it
ranch,
was
maybe?
specifically, but
We got to expand this up to Breezy Point, Minnesota.
Yeah.
Love it.
So,
Yeah.
So all the way from Breezy Point, this won't be your last. It's
Right.
been an absolute blast.
Yes,
Time has gone by so fast. I guarantee you, with our viewership, they're going to want more of this. So we will absolutely do a contest, a quick pull tabs, and
Yeah.
more stories. Billy, thank you for coming down.
thanks for having
It's
me.
been an absolute blast. Appreciate all the stories. Sal, as always, you always make this happen. Spencer behind the scenes too, and our lovely guests here with us in the corner.
Yep. And then, folks, this is new. And you didn't mention this, but I will. If you want to get a hold of us, and we've always loved comments, we are the gambling guys at pulltabsports.com. Is that correct, David?
That is,
And we have an Instagram, what do they call it? Handle? I don't even know what I'm new to Instagram, so that'll be fun. What is it, David?
_gambling guys
Love it.
on Instagram. Spencer just did a quick short. I've been made fun of my white pants. Those are featured in the latest short. So take a look at that.
That was a
Those-
winning session, therefore you have to wear
it
them.
was. That brought a lot of viewership.
Yeah. So look on our Instagram and others for gambling type posts, shorts that were either at the casino or elsewhere. I am headed to a casino close to here to place some Masters bets after this taping, so that should be fun.
Can we give you money, Pete?
Can I get
Yeah.
your number in case I want to have you put it
No, we can do it right now.
Yeah, I think
love
we
it.
might have some company too. All right, so David, thank you for wrapping us up. Sorry to go long, and Billy, we appreciate
Thank
you
you.
being here. This will not be the last time we see you on this program, and everyone else out there, we'll see you next time.
Thanks for listening.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.